UFC Singapore is set to go down at the indoor stadium this Saturday night with a main event that features two of the finest grapplers in MMA, Mr. Demian Maia, and with us today, Mr. Ben Askren. Ben, lovely to have you back in Singapore. How are you feeling about this one? You're up against somebody who will actively want you to go for a takedown. That's kind of different to what you're used to.
Definitely different. I'm going to enjoy the strategical battle of it. I've been saying in my whole career, and I've lost once, but the strategy is pretty simple. I'm going to go grab him, I'm going to put him on the ground, beat him up, and there's not like much thought beyond that. It just close the distance, beat him up, and with Demian Maia, I think I have to be more on point with my takedowns, my top control, everything there.
It's fair to say that you've got a lot of respect for Maia and what he's achieved in the sport. Have you ever faced anyone of his level when it comes to BJJ?
Obviously, I faced other black belts, but Demian, he, among other jiu-jitsu guys, implemented his style really well. There's not a lot of jiu-jitsu guys who are able to carry it over that well from MMA, and so no, he's definitely a unique puzzle, I would say.
If we look at the champions in the UFC right now, we've got Cejudo, we've got Kamaru Usman, and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Wrestling seems to be the most effective of all the martial arts when it comes to MMA. Do you agree with that? And do you see this as a chance to kind of represent wrestling and maybe show that it is the most effective over BJJ?
Well, I think wrestling is very well represented in the UFC champions. And you forgot Stipe Miocic, obviously. You forgot Jon Jones. Right? They're almost all wrestlers just across the board. Really with, Adesanya and Holloway are the two standouts who are not from that background. I don't think the result of Saturday night's contest really has anything to do with wrestling versus BJJ as far as the bigger scale, right? Because we see, 7 of the 9 champions right now are former wrestlers. And I think wrestling gives you a very special ability to work hard and go learn new things. I mean, we see guys like myself who use my wrestling for wrestling and take people down and beat them up. And then you see guys like Henry Cejudo, he mostly stands up. Stipe Miocic mostly stands up. And so you see guys, come from the wrestling background and do all kinds of different things.
You were top 5 at one point and you were right in there with that title shot, and then one lost bang, you slide down to 11th. Do you feel hard done by that at all?
The rankings are fairly superficial. They don't really have a huge indicator of what's going to happen next. And so, hey, I'm number, I think, 10 or 11 right now. If I get a win over Demian Maia, I could go, fight someone who's number 3 or number 4, and then who knows, the next shot after that could be a title shot.
Yeah, you made it clear you want to get back and be the best in the world, right? So are you conscious of the fact that an emphatic win, a big finish, gets you where you want to be quicker than just a victory, or does that not matter to you? You're just looking to get the job done?
Well, I think Demian Maia is very hard to look good against. If you look at his resume, and Anderson Silva didn't finish him, Tyron Woodley didn't finish him, Marty Usman didn't finish him. So you have all these guys who have failed to finish him, and it's very tough to look impressive. So, first and foremost, I am trying to get the win, and if I can somehow finish him and look impressive doing so, then that's an added bonus.
It's fair to say if anyone listens to any of your interviews, you're probably one of the most intelligent fighters out there. Who do you think that you've come across is the most intelligent fighter in the UFC?
You know what? I think there's a lot of fighters who are very intelligent, but a lot of them, the intelligent ones, they kind of don't like the trash talk. They think it's kind of dumb and below them, and so they kind of keep that within themselves. Demetrius Johnson, a guy who's really well spoken, really intelligent, but he's over here in one right now, and one of the reasons he said he came over here, and in fact the guy I got traded for, was because he didn't want to have to do the trash talk or anything like that. So a lot of these more intelligent guys, they just don't want to play the game, right? They don't want to put themselves out there, and that's one thing I think I can both be intelligent and put myself out there at the same time, and I'm okay with that.
Well, certainly not a lot of trash talk between Ben Askren and Demian Maia, but it promises to be very spicy when they step inside the octagon on Saturday night. Don't miss this one. You can catch the action live on Fox Sports.